Oh, welcome to the Morning Mindset Blab. This is Charlene Burke with Grow Because You Know. That is the website, www.growbecauseyouknow.com. Today we'll be reading from Think and Grow Rich, pages 73 to 77, and followed by discussion. This morning's meeting will be cut short by roughly 10 minutes, simply because I have a standing 9 o'clock Wednesday business group that I host. So let's get started, shall we? Near the top of page 73. Wisdom and cleverness alone will not attract and retain money except in a very few rare instances where the law of averages favors the attraction of money through these sources. The method of attracting money described here does not depend upon the law of averages. Moreover, the method plays no favorites. It will work for one person as effectively as it will for another. Where failure is experienced, it is the individual, not the method, which has failed. If you try and fail, make another effort, and still another, until you succeed. Your ability to use the principle of autosuggestion will depend very largely upon your capacity to concentrate upon a given desire until that desire becomes a burning obsession. When you begin to carry out the instructions in connection with the 6 steps described in the 2nd chapter, it will be necessary for you to make use of the principle of concentration. Let us here offer suggestions for the effective use of concentration. When you begin to carry out the first of the 6 steps, which instructs you to fix in your own mind the exact amount of money you desire, hold your thoughts on that amount of money by concentration, or fixation of attention, with your eyes closed until you can actually see the physical appearance of the money. Do this at least once each day. As you go through these exercises, follow the instructions given in the chapter on faith and see yourself actually in possession of the money. Here's a most significant fact. The subconscious mind takes any orders given it in a spirit of absolute faith and acts upon those orders, although the orders often have to be presented over and over again through repetition before they are interpreted by the subconscious mind. Following the preceding statement, consider the possibility of playing a perfectly legitimate trick on your subconscious mind by making it believe, because you believe it, that you must have the amount of money you are visualizing, that this money is already awaiting your claim, that the subconscious mind must hand over to you practical plans for acquiring the money which is yours. Hand over the thought suggested in the preceding paragraph to your imagination and see what your imagination can or will do to create practical plans for the accumulation of money through the transmutation of your desire. Do not wait for a definite plan through which you intend to exchange services or merchandise in return for the money you are visualizing, but begin at once to see yourself in possession of the money, demanding and expecting, meanwhile, that your subconscious mind will hand over the plan or plans you need. Be on the alert for these plans, and when they appear, put them into action immediately. When the plans appear, they will probably flash into your mind through the 6th sense in the form of an inspiration. This inspiration may be considered a direct telegram or message from infinite intelligence. Treat it with respect and act upon it as soon as you receive it. Failure to do this will be fatal to your success. In the 4th of the 6 steps, you are instructed to create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once to put this plan into action. You should allow this instruction in the manner described in the preceding. You should follow this instruction in the manner described in the preceding paragraph. Do not trust to your reason when creating your plan for accumulating money through the transmutation of desire. Your reason is faulty. Moreover, your reasoning faculty may be lazy, and if you depend entirely upon it to serve you, it may disappoint you. When visualizing the money you intend to accumulate with closed eyes, see yourself rendering the service or delivering the merchandise you intend to give in return for this money. This is important. Summary of instructions. The fact that you are reading this book is an indication you earnestly seek knowledge. It is also an indication that you are a student of this subject. If you are only a student, there is a chance that you may learn much that you did not know, but you will learn only by assuming an attitude of humility. If you choose to follow some of the instructions but neglect or refuse to follow others, you will fail. To get satisfactory results, you must follow all instructions in a spirit of faith. The instructions given in connection with the 6 steps in the 2nd chapter will now be summarized and blended with the principles covered by this chapter as follows. First, go into some quiet spot, preferably in bed at night, where you will not be disturbed or interrupted. Close your eyes and repeat aloud so you may hear your own words the written statement of the amount of money you intend to accumulate, the time limit for its accumulation, and a description of the service or merchandise you intend to give in return for the money. As you carry out these instructions, see yourself already in possession of the money. For example, suppose that you intend to accumulate $50,000 by the 1st of January, 5 years hence, that you intend to give personal services in return for the money in the capacity of a salesman. Your written statement of your purpose should be similar to the following. By the 1st day of January, 19-something, I will have in my possession $50,000, which will come to me in various amounts from time to time during the interim. In return for this money, I will give the most efficient service of which I am capable, rendering the fullest possible quantity and the best possible quality of service in the capacity of salesman of. Describe the service or merchandise you intend to sell. I believe that I will have this money in my possession. My faith is so strong that I can now see this money before my eyes. I can touch it with my hands. It is now awaiting transfer to me at the time and in the proportion that I deliver the service I intend to render in return for it. I am awaiting a plan by which to accumulate this money, and I will follow that plan when it is received. Second, repeat this program night and morning until you can see, in your imagination, the money you intend to accumulate. Third, place a written copy of your statement where you can see it at night and morning and read it just before retiring and upon arising until it has been memorized. Remember, as you carry out these instructions, that you are applying the principle of autosuggestion for the purpose of giving orders to your subconscious mind. Remember also that your subconscious mind will act only upon instructions which are emotionalized and handed over to it with feeling. Faith is the strongest and most productive of the emotions. Follow the instructions given in this chapter on faith. These instructions may at first seem abstract. Do not let this disturb you. Follow the instructions, no matter how abstract or impractical they may be at first or appear to be. The time will soon come, if you do as you have been instructed in spirit as well as in act, when a whole new universe of power will unfold to you. Skepticism in connection with all new ideas is characteristic of all human beings. But if you follow the instructions outlined, your skepticism will soon be replaced by belief, and this, in turn, will become crystallized into absolute faith. Then you will have arrived at the point where you may truly say, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Many philosophers have made the statement that man is the master of his own earthly destiny, but most of them have failed to say why he is the master. The reason that man may be the master of his own earthly status, and especially his financial status, is thoroughly explained in this chapter. Man may become the master of himself and of his environment because he has the power to influence his own subconscious mind, and through it gain the cooperation of infinite intelligence. You are now reading the chapter which represents the keystone to the arch of this philosophy. The instructions contained in this chapter must be understood and applied with persistence if you succeed in transmuting desire into money. The actual performance of transmuting desire into money involves the use of autosuggestion as an agency by which one may reach and influence the subconscious mind. The other principles are simply tools with which to apply autosuggestion. Keep this thought in mind, and you will at all times be conscious of the important part of the principle of autosuggestion is to play in your efforts to accumulate money through the methods described in this book. Carry out these instructions as though you were a small child. Inject into your efforts something of the faith of a child. The author has been most careful to see that no impractical instructions were included, because of his sincere desire to be helpful. After you have read the entire book, come back to this chapter and follow in spirit and in action this instruction. Read the entire chapter aloud once every night until you become thoroughly convinced that the principle of autosuggestion is sound, that it will accomplish for you all that has been claimed for it as you read. Underscore with a pencil every sentence which impresses you favorably. Follow the foregoing instruction to the letter, and it will open the way for a complete understanding and mastery of the principles of success. How's that for a reading? Oh, well, welcome, Don. Welcome, Monty. Good to have you with us. Sharon, Karen, Sean, Karen, Heather. All right, so today is a fumble day, isn't it? I'm going to have a little more coffee. There. Yes, Don. It is a great reading, isn't it? I love how he continually repeats the same thing, so one day I get to fully understand it, right? Welcome, everybody. If you don't have a copy, Don has been kind enough to copy-paste the link to the PDF. That's okay, Sean. You have a copy. The PDF is right there. You can catch up. Oh. Now, I am going to tell everybody that I have to cut this short this morning, just to let you know there won't be any after recording chat. I actually have to shut down about 10 minutes early, and that's because I have a 9 o'clock professional business networking meeting that I host. You all are invited to that. I can post the link here shortly. Yes, it is Wednesday. And that's every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. So, but for now, let's talk about the reading, right? Because I want my mindset in the proper place when I go to this networking meeting. You know, we're talking about faith. We're talking about influence on our subconscious mind, about applied persistence, about that major definite purpose, which I have on my wall, of which I've been reading every morning and later in the evening. The instructions are right here, and he keeps repeating over and over again that it's the action on a plan that makes things happen. So I have to get my mind right so that I can see the plan when it's presented to me, right? That's my thought. You know, it was funny as I was reading it that amazingly enough, the only time I can do two things at once is when I'm reading aloud and I can think something different at the same time. Don't ask me to type and talk or do anything else twice, as in I'm going to put my coffee down. So as I was reading about how having the faith that the plan will present itself is different than just any old opportunity that presents itself, right? That it's being prepared for the plan to present itself. And I think that's what happened to me when I started changing the focus of my business. The plan presented itself as I was writing out what I thought needed to happen for the change in business. I didn't seek guidance from the infinite intelligence, whom I choose to call God. I didn't seek that. I was kind of, floating around thinking, well, this is what I think will happen. And then there came a time when I said, I'm not sure. I think I'm going to get quiet and just ask for the guidance and be prepared. And I was, and the plan presented itself. It got down on paper, and that's when real changes started happening with my business this year. Because I had a solid plan that I felt confident in and that I could move forward with and take action on. Deborah, don't wait for the definite plan. Yes. Yeah. And that's what I had done before is, well, I can't do anything until I I have a plan in place. But I didn't realize that it took the thought first, that it took the definite end purpose in mind. Once that was in place, that's when the plan was revealed. That's when things started falling in place for me. And I can say that now because, of course, hindsight, I can look back and see what's occurred. Massive imperfect action. Okay, here we go. Proper prior plan. Monty, that's a bunch of peas. I've had half a cup of coffee. It's just not going to happen today. Thank goodness you've typed it out so everybody can read it, right? Open seat, by the way. Anybody who wants to discuss what was read. What was read was page 73 to 77. Hey, Sabrina.
Good morning.
So go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, so have you put into place your twice daily read aloud?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, actually, I have it up on my wall in my office, and it's my major definite purpose. And what was why it was so easy for me to read it aloud. I almost inserted my own numbers and thoughts in there because that is exactly what I have on my wall. By the first day of this date, I will have in my possession this amount of money, and everything that I read there is exactly what I have on my wall. So yes, I've been doing that twice daily. And the other thing that I'll note that was brought to my attention through an earlier reading and the discussion was that it's recommended we actually write this out by hand. So previously I'd had it typed out, and I sat down and I hand wrote it, and I'm not handwriting it twice daily, but when I hand wrote it, it helped to cement once again that this is my major definite purpose. This is my goal. I'm visioning it, and this is what I have in my mind.
I have my wall plastered with my notes, just exactly like you're talking about here. And sometimes I just tear them all down and write them again, even if they're exactly the same. I tear them all down and write them again.
Excellent, excellent. In cursive, hopefully, yes, Monty. Actually, but that's because I know the neurological impact of cursive for doing things in our brain and getting those electrical charges happening and what have you. We have another seat open if somebody'd like to join the discussion.
I see Miss Jen Lahner's in here.
Oh, yeah. Good morning, Jen.
Good morning, Jen.
Good morning, Omar. Yes, Monty. Thank you for the confirmation.
I am happy to hop out if someone would like in here.
Well, we have room for two more. Anybody that would like to jump on and participate in the discussion about Dolores. So good to see you again. Dolores from across the pond, right? We have Dolores and, oh, did you leave?
I see Sean in here.
So, the reading again was, now this was interesting, and of course I've not done this because I don't have a physical copy of the book anymore, but the last paragraph says to read the entire chapter aloud. And my first thought was, well, that's because it contains the definite purpose, right? But he's saying the entire chapter, read it aloud and commit to memory. Oh.
You didn't do that?
No, I didn't do that. And as you saw, I read that in sections. I've read it aloud in sections. And I know that that's had an impact. Of course it has, because I'm reading the words aloud and reading every word, right? See, there's the difference. That's why I'm doing the reading, which is awesome, because when I'm left to my own devices and I just simply read, I tend to skip words because I'll get the gist of the sentence. And I can't do that when I'm reading it aloud. So it's been very, very interesting experience. Learning it from scratch is what it feels like, because I didn't realize how often he repeats himself. And I'm glad of that, because we're hearing again and again and again the importance of faith, the importance of desire, the importance of think it, make it real, visualize, be persistent. You know, he keeps saying that, and we're only on page 77 out of 260, you know. So I'm not going to count how many times he said it, but I'm glad he does. I'm glad he does. All right. Yes, Don. He's saying that this is one of those books that the instructions are so clear, the outcomes are indisputable. Reading and not taking action is not an option. Not for me. Oh, that's the other thing. Did anybody else hear that I read? You know, you don't do it. It is fatal to your business. You will fail. I mean, that just like should have been the first thing I said. It just jumped out.
The opposite of doing it positively is also not doing it.
Good point. Good point.
It is a negative factor to not do it.
So that negates the effort.
Uh-huh.
Good point. Yay, Jen, be good to have you on here. Just a reminder to everybody, I'm going to be shutting this one down early because I have a 9 o'clock business networking meeting that I am host of. I'll post the link shortly for you to join that, but I want to discuss what we've read to this point. You bought the book. Oh, Don, that's fabulous. Bought the book for his daughter's birthday yesterday and a new copy for yourself. That's fantastic. Yeah, that was interesting when Eric shared that. Eric, are you here? Yes, there you are. I see you in here. Good to have you with us. Eric shared that he had given his 16-year-old son a copy of the book for his birthday, and that the young man is taking to it. It's making sense to him. And we were also impressed with that. Well, I was impressed that the kid understood it because I didn't when I first read it.
That's funny.
All right, Jen, you can see it's Carnegie or Carnegie. I think it depends on what part of the country or world you're in. And I hope that doesn't trip you up too much when he mispronounces the name. Oh, no, it's worse than that? Carnegie? Oh, that could be funny. No, it's anyway. So let's get back to the reading. So what else do you think, Sabrina? What do you think about one other thing he's got in here is about always in the plan is what are you going to render in service or product for the money that's in your mind? You know, for if you've got that amount of money, what are you going to render for it? You've got to give something for it. I like that too, that not only is there action, but I have to have something of quality in exchange for that money. I really like that it's not just the money. It is rendering value and providing value.
One of the things that said is do not wait for a definite plan.
Okay.
Just do it. And I think that kind of goes totally along the lines of somebody I know who said perfection is the thief of success. That would be Charlene Burke's quote, by the way. Perfection is the thief of success. I stalk her. I follow her around, and
and you're one of the ones I'm so glad you do, Sean. I'm trying to get you in here, buddy. I've been pressing that little. Good morning, Sean. All right, I'm going to turn on a light to see if it helps, like fake sunshine here, because
good morning, Sabrina.
We have rain and
Charlene.
Everything else. Good morning. All right, Don.
And I have a perfection quote too that I heard recently, and I hadn't heard in all my 40 plus years. Perfection is procrastination in pretty shoes.
Oh, I like that. I'm going to go create me a meme.
That definitely will have an impact on those women that love shoes, right?
Are you out for your morning walk, Sean?
I'm out with my morning coffee.
Fantastic.
On my morning routine, because Charlene does this so early. It's like 6:30 here. I'm not up as early as Dawn. I give Don props for getting up when he does.
I swear, Don, I am just so gratified that you are still with us every morning, because it is, 5:30 there. And usually he gets on and actually participates in the discussion. And so to be that clear-headed, like with Sean, to be that clear-headed, to be able to have a conversation is terrific. Good morning, Kyle. So glad you could join us today. Patricia, good to see you.
Lots of new faces this morning.
Yeah, lots of new faces. And Wayne.
Although I felt like I was watching Romper Room when you were like, "Good morning, Dawn," and "Good morning."
Yeah. Oh, the memories. I was on Romper Room.
You were?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
a long time ago. Yeah, I was. I rode the little horse. And I did the weather girl. And I had a ring. I had a ring. I had my busy bee ring.
So I was pouring through my notebook because we talked about the writing out the amount you want and not writing it out as like I want, but doing it as if. And he brought it up again in today's reading. You guys were talking about writing it out and reading it twice a day.
Yes.
And
believe like you know, like you know, like you know.
Right. And in one of my NLP classes, it had us do a similar exercise to write it out in an as if, but still put a deadline in it because it still followed the SMART guidelines, although it added some extra layers to the SMART goals. So I found it this morning. I was pouring through my notebook to find it. And it's written as so. It is now March 31st, 2020, and I have $1,375,837.42 net. I see the figures in my month-end financial report. I hear my spouse telling me how proud she is of me, and I say, I knew it would happen. I feel accomplished, successful, and fulfilled. I achieved this because I am smart, driven, shrewd, relentless, motivated, financially intelligent, and I love my family and want to provide for them.
Very nice.
And it's so detailed because you want it to be sensory. So hence the feelings and the things that I am. It has to be meaningful to you. As I said, as if now. Then the extra R is resources. So that's why all the details of, smart driven, and then time and toward motivated. I think we talked about that yesterday. Yeah, we did. We were talking about, we want our goals to be what we're working towards, not what we're running away from.
Exactly.
Not what we're trying to get away from, the positive and not the negative.
Yes.
Exactly. I love that, Sean. Thank you for sharing that. Mine is, mine's good. It's got me in the RV with a cup of coffee, enjoying the breeze coming off of the man-made lake, of which my husband goes fishing every morning in, and I can smell the smoke from the campfire from the night before, right? So I've got that, and I've got the dollar amount. What I found interesting in what you shared on yours is that it related to the financial reports. And what struck me was that if I added something like that level of detail, in addition to what I already have, it would cement in my mind that it is from the business and the services that I'm rendering. Rather than, because mine includes that which, let's see, I will give the most efficient service of which I am capable, rendering the fullest possible quantity and best possible quality of service in the capacity of marketing and business research consultant working with businesses and individuals. And that's pretty much just the title, but I might add to that a little bit. Thank you.
Yeah, I think the deeper we go with it,
that's what I'm hearing you say, and you said it again and again. The
more we lock, and we lock in some emotion, and Napoleon talked about that as well. I saw from the reading is that
Yes.
You need to tie the emotion in, and that makes sense because, actually, in a marriage seminar I went to, because you can learn good stuff from everywhere. It doesn't have to necessarily be a business seminar to get business advice, because marriage is about relationship, and so is business. So anything that works in marriage, I believe, works, is useful in business. But it talked about, they say our brain never forgets anything. It gets lost and buried.
Is that where it goes?
Or sometimes we just don't. We decide not to put it into memory. I think I shared recently that we have 2 million bits coming at our brain every second.
Yeah, an insane amount.
And our brain can only process about 100,000. So because of our beliefs, values, filters that we've installed, we either we put it away, we move it into the deeper levels of the brain, or we delete it, or we distort it, we simplify it. So some things don't go into the memory banks because they're not important to us. But in the marriage seminar, he was saying if you tie an emotion to a memory, it makes it easier to find, which is why women, on the most part, have better memories than the men, because you tie a lot more emotion to things.
Right, we do.
Also, it's important. This book talks about as well that those emotions need to be positive. Again, no emotion is as bad as a negative emotion. So you need to tie all those things to those positive emotions.
And that's why
things like joy, satisfaction, fulfillment.
He's tying it to what it encompasses emotion and faith. Faith being the belief in the infinite intelligence is what he's calling it. That our major definite purpose is about money and how to get it and how to render service for it. I think you might be able to get some negative in there, but I think you'd have to work at it.
Yeah, because one of the things they say is don't attend an anti-anything, like rally, for example. Attend a pro rally. You got to get away from that anti, no matter what it is.
Okay.
So,
don't
like,
be
we're talking
something before something else.
Huh?
Good point. Good
because
point.
like I shared
Don't be
before, our
against
brain, our subconscious doesn't understand negatives.
Yeah.
It's like, if I tell you to not think about a pink cow,
we're going to think about a pink cow.
Everybody just thought about a pink cow because we have to think about it to not think about it.
Strawberry milk. Sorry.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I love strawberry milk.
I don't know about that.
Well, that's strawberry milk. That's why you have the brown cows. Chocolate milk. So, yes, city girl. That's what I was told. I still remember it. And the goats. You know why goats are. Have one side of their one set of legs are shorter than the other, right?
No.
Well, so they don't fall off the mountain.
Yeah, of course. Okay, come on, you guys. There's a hot seat up here with Charlene.
Yeah, hot seat open. Don't be shy.
Yeah, go somebody quick. I'm going to keep going here. I'm about ready to share the dumbest joke ever. I told my husband, he just about spewed his coffee. Oh, somebody please take the seat. Save me from myself.
Yeah.
So how's that? We get to start the day with a smile and with some laughter. Not bad, hey? Not bad. All right,
that's a very good thing. It's good to laugh.
Oh, yes. All right, so I'm going to go back one more time. That, back on page 73, just before the summary of instructions, he talks about treat this with respect and act upon it as soon as you receive it. Failure will be fatal to your success, flat out. And honestly, recent additions I've made to my business, which had been actually part of the plan, as most of you know, this isn't a big surprise. I'm doing mastermind groups. Well, I've been doing mastermind groups since '09, but they've all been by private invitation. And recently I opened up some groups to the public. And the plan was that after having achieved success in the private invitation ones, and only then would I open to the public, so that I wasn't fumbling and, I could take care of the group and make sure that the health of the group was good. And so that was part of the plan originally. And then I put the faith behind it. And when the opportunity presented itself to move forward, I jumped on it. I did it. And one of the things was this morning mindset. I jumped on it and I did it. Sean remembers. He keeps reminding me, and I'm so glad you do, how nervous I was when I first started this. I really, really was afraid nobody would show up. I didn't know. I wrote while I was.
And it's been awesome.
Yes, it's been incredible.
The turnout, to get the input from all the folks that have jumped in the seat.
Right. And knowing that having Blab presented to me, seeing the opportunity, jumping on it and just doing it before having a definite plan has worked. And I think it's because it's right in line with all the changes I've made in myself and what I've made in my business over the past year.
Jen's back.
And we were talking before with John.
Oh, Deborah, I'm so glad you found us too. It's so good to see you here.
We were talking about the cycle that we have. Our beliefs dictate our actions, which give us our results, which
they're all intertwined.
Which cement our beliefs, which then we just get trapped in a circle. So to do something like you did, to jump out and do something with faith.
Yeah, it was.
Faith, and fear alongside, and that's okay. It's okay to have faith and fear.
Yep.
But do it anyway. Face the fear and do it anyway. That's one of my books on my list. And then it produced new results, which then changed the nature of the cycle.
Yes. It did. Enough time has passed, and my commitment to doing this and my participating in this, I have enough to say that I can see and feel the difference in myself and what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. And I think it is not only the persistence of staying with the commitment that I made, but also the reading aloud, which honestly I'd not ever done before with this book, and it has had a big impact on me. And the discussions are just cementing. You guys, good morning, Don.
Good morning, Miss Don.
Your participation is I'm the sponge. I'm taking it in and letting it expand what is already a part of me and what I'm doing with what I'm learning from this book.
Yeah, it's been huge. I soak up everything everybody shares, and then I soak up what I share.
Yes.
One thing when I share things, I'm talking to myself first.
Amen.
That's true.
And that comes from my studying to be a pastor. They always say, if you're a pastor, you're preaching to yourself first. You don't have to stand up there and pretend that you got everything all together and that you're doing everything right. Get up there, share from the heart, share from the knowledge, speak to yourself first. And then, yeah.
Hey, gang, I'm going to open up the seat for somebody else who would like to jump in.
We've only got 5 minutes. I'm writing it out now.
TikTok.
Yeah, you two keep talking. I'm writing out why I'm shutting down so that everybody knows.
Are you going to share your link, or would you like?
That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Yeah, I'll share it.
I know that I will see you in 15 minutes on that link.
Yes, you will.
And I will be joining you too.
Bye, Sabrina.
Hey, Don.
What's happening? One of the things that came to mind, Charlene, excuse me, it's a long night. I'm waking up. Jump and the net will appear, Charlene, and I really believe that you're living proof of that with this group, right? You weren't ready. You didn't know how it was going to show up. You didn't understand how it was going to play out, and here's 44 people later enjoying everything about what you're doing. So awesome job. And I think part of what you did, and Sean, to your success cycle that you were talking about, right? The psychology cycle, if you will. I think one of the missing pieces is the self-talk, right? The self-talk imparts the beliefs, which imparts the actions, which gets our results. And that psychology cycle continues. And the self-talk, Charlene, that you've added for yourself with your major definite purpose, morning and night, morning and night, morning and night, has given you the ability to go for it. And here we are. And I don't know about you guys, but yeah, that major definite purpose written out every morning. There it is.
He's got the book in his hand. Yay, yay. Give him some props.
That's the journal. This is my new copy. I'm so excited about right here.
Ooh,
right on.
It's modern type. Wow.
I know, right? It doesn't look like the old one. It's not blurry like my old copy. I love it.
I've got a ratted copy still with the paper cover, hardcover of the, positive thinking and how to influence friends and all that stuff. But anyway, I've got that in there. I don't have a copy of this book, though. I don't know where it went.
I love it. Yes, mine is about, I should have brought it, but it's about a quarter of the size. It's tiny.
Yeah.
I'm going to get out of here, you guys. I'll see some of you in 15 minutes.
You got it.
Awesome.
I will be there in 4 minutes. I'll open it up, but I want to open it up a little bit early for the presenter and what have you.
Okay. I have also placed a link in there where you guys can find Charlene on Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m. for her networking group. I put it in there as well. So I hope to see some of you there. All right. See you guys.
Thanks, Sabrina.
Charlene, the coolest thing is the version I bought Marissa. It's leather bound. It's gold foil pages.
Wow.
And it's hardbound, and it's almost like a Bible, a really nice Bible. And I'm really excited. I can't wait for her to experience what we've all learned with the book and apply it more importantly.
Yeah. And what would be really cool is if she could pop on here once in a while.
Not a chance at 5 o'clock in the morning. She's 19 years old.
Fair enough.
And college is in the afternoon and evening. And
so 5 o'clock is her bedtime. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Appreciate the offer, and I can show you where she's. No, that's weird. No, I won't do that. Never mind. Never mind.
No, we're good.
we're doing just fine here, Don.
Appreciate it.
So, all right, one last. I've got 3 minutes, fellas. So, I'm going to highlight what comes to me as I glance over this, which of course are the big capital letters because he's shouting. See, we shouted back in the day for those who are not used to reading. And that is concentration, faith, demanding and expecting. You will demand and expect, and upon seeing the plan, put it into action immediately. Then, again, faith, absolute faith, all kinds of faith, power to influence our own subconscious mind. That's what separates us from the animals, I guess, right? We have the power to influence our own subconscious minds. We have the power within us, and we apply it with persistence. Wow, that was pretty good, huh?
That sums it up, Charlie. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
great.
Good.
All right.
Just to add one lower line that's in the big capital shouting.
Yeah.
Applied with persistence.
Yes.
Yes. Nice.
So read it in the morning and in the evening. Been doing that. I hand wrote it. That was a change. I'm going to hand write it again, adding even more detail to what it looks like, because I have it now and what it looks like right now. And that's my plan. How's that?
Sounds like a good one.
That's awesome.
Okay. So I really hate shutting down early. I really like the after chat. That is so much fun. But we'll do that tomorrow morning. All right.
Yes.
Just on Wednesdays, I have this meeting that I must attend to, so I can take care of that group. The link is up in the in the chat area. There are 2 links. The first one actually is a link directly to the meeting room, so you can bypass registering. But if you register, you will get morning reminder email with a link to join the meeting. The meeting is for business people, professionals. This is a networking meeting. It is, we'll have a little presentation, and then we can have Q&A, and we get to meet each other, share our contact info, learn about each other, and we do that once a week on Wednesdays.
And just a note on the registration, because I know all of us have busy inboxes. The only thing you will receive from registering there is the reminder.
Yeah, it's not, you're not joining a list to be spammed and continually contacted every single day or multiple times a day. It is only the meeting reminder that comes in on Wednesday mornings.
Charlene, is this worth, if I can pop in for 10, 15 minutes? Is that possible?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It is just like any other face-to-face business networking group that you're familiar with. Mm-hmm. It is just that we've taken it into the 21st century, and that it's from the comfort of your own home, fuzzy slippers and all. Just be camera ready, And
or you can mute your camera.
Or yes, you can mute your camera.
Thank you, Sean, for that.
Yes, you can do that.
Or it has a dial-in number too. When you get registered, you'll actually get a phone number you can call in as well. So
awesome.
If you're not in a position to use a camera device.
That's
excellent.
Right.
Thank you.
So what it's great for is anybody who wants to meet people and connect with people from around the country and not be limited to their local face-to-face networking groups. It's not industry specific. It is business networking.
Nice.
That's how I met
Deborah,
Charlene.
Get that on your calendar.
That's cool. All
right.
That's
So let me shut this down
Sabrina
for the
recruited
recording.
me, and then I met Charlene.
Nice. Sean, I'll talk to you this afternoon.
Recording.
All right,
and I will
brother.
see you guys shortly.
All right.
So I want to thank everybody for joining me this morning. It's been a pleasure. Great discussion as always. This is Charlene Burke with Grow Because You Know. That is the website, www.growbecauseyouknow.com. Let us move forward with the day on purpose, with purpose, to grow our hearts, grow our minds, grow our business. So until tomorrow, have a